Good morning, good morning, good morning, and morning, good morning, good morning. All right, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. So I don't think we have much today to share. Hey, Frida. Um, just everything is going the way it's supposed to go is kind of the main point. So today we're going to have our first 1 o'clock call for the referrals of the affiliate team, as well as for our open invite. I haven't taken a look at the the registration list just yet. I suspect it's probably somewhere between, I don't know, 30 and 40 people maybe. And of course, not all those people ever show up, but we're going to do another email in front of it, like maybe around like 12:30. Hey, if you hadn't registered, our call starts in a half hour. For that, the slide deck presentation that we worked on, we had, I want to say finalized, but still not final. But it only needs maybe like a 20, 30 minutes of my time, because I had done it over the weekend but it wasn't harmonized, right? So there was like 25 slides and each one was really, really great. And each one had a description and kind of direction. But then I had to run through it again yesterday and take each slide from, okay, this is what it looks like in the laboratory type of thing, and to convert it over to what it looks like in real life, like how to actually go ahead and present it and harmonize it and make it make sense. Because the thing about slides is this one has to speak to this one, which has to speak to this one. You can't just have one good one and then the next one that doesn't make any sense at all. Be that as it may, what I hadn't done yet, though, is actually presented it. Like, I have not even done that out loud. So what I need to do today is actually just run through it and present it out loud to make sure that it flows, see what slides are unnecessary, see where the energy is, see where the passion is, see where the high points are, stuff like that. Also, I need to make sure that I utilize TED within the presentation, because presentations are, I think they're boring by default. I mean, you're watching someone talk about a slide deck. So I do want to have Ted involved. I got to figure out how I'm involving him. And so that'll take another 10, 20 minutes, because Ted's done. I have the demo version already. I just need to include him into it. And then it's where do you do the link drops, and how do you get people in? So I don't expect today to be a very good presentation, but I don't expect it to be a bad one. I expect it to be good, but not as good as tomorrow, if that makes sense. But that's a good thing, because we had never had that before. Now we're going to have that every single day. And to have live presentations every single day that everyone in the world could attend to, ask questions, participate, join, that's a really, really good engine. So stuffy today. I see a Q&A already. Oh yeah, no, Bill, I know we have a 4 o'clock call. I will be ready for it. Okay, cool. So that's that. Rhino Bucks I have not even looked at. I need to. I think it's 193 now. I haven't purchased any in the last 2 days because the funds have just been they've just been allocated to getting this push out. So it's not a bad thing. Our funding round is coming to a close. I had spoken to our investor who was funding 2024 2 days ago. And where we're at is we're working through the administrator of his trust account, the administrator and the compliance team. So the way it works is I draw up the contract, send it over. The administrator takes a look at it and says, okay, this can work, or this needs this, this, this. And that administrator is not responsible for coaching you how to do it. It's just this works, this doesn't, and this is why. So we had sent our fourth over. And again, each time it's getting progressively, okay, solve this, solve this, solve this. So that's just going in the right direction. You have three parties, myself, the investor, and the administrator, that are all looking for a yes, right? Looking for the proper structure, and everyone's quite motivated. So that's a good thing. And when that happens, it happens. And I expect it any day now, most likely probably the next week or two. If it's longer than 2 weeks, like it didn't work out. That's how imminent it is. And once that happens, we will buy Rhino up to $3. I've already made that commitment. We will fund our entire 2024, and we'll start planning 193. Thank you, Brian. And we'll start planning the towns, the structure of it. Because it's fun to say you're just going to go to a town, but to what date are you arriving? What does it look like? Are you going to be a little bit hidden? Are you going to come in on a white horse? Are you going to just be a regular person? Are you going to kind of just drop a green card somewhere? And I think we'll have a lot of fun with it. I haven't allowed my mind to get there yet because you don't put the cart in front of the horse, but it's kind of like quietly getting there. So that's a good thing. By all accounts, TED is great. So I actually have another meeting with our team tomorrow, in which case the developer that's actually doing the coding to allow TED to replicate into additional bots, in which case I can send you a link and you say, okay, great, I want it. I sign up. And then all of a sudden you get a text message on your phone. Hey, I'm Ted. Thanks for bringing me to life. And then you start your relationship there. It's more difficult than it sounds. I guess it sounds difficult, but it's getting close enough to test. So I will be testing that tomorrow, which is a very good thing. The other challenge that we're facing right now, and I don't think it's a challenge that we're facing as much as it's just a next item to do that we know is going to be challenging. The businesses that sign up, we have to automate their website being built. So you're going to, all of your assets, all of your stuff is going to stay your stuff. The new website that's going to be built for you on Rhino is going to be built by Rhino. It'll be automated and put together. The inputs that you're going to answer on the form that you sign up with, which you haven't had yet, in which case that form should have been done Friday. I should have actually had it by Friday. It's now Tuesday, and this is how days just kind of get away from you. But I did reach out to that team member earlier and said I need the link. I can only imagine I don't have the link because he's still working on it. So if he's still working on it, what do we need to do? Because this needs to happen. Anyway, that link will be to the form that you're going to sign up with. This is my business name. These are the top 3 products. This is the pricing. This is why people like us. Stuff that Rhino thinks is important. And actually, that was kind of rude. Not that Rhino thinks important, that Rhino observes is actually important to consumers. Because like I've always said, Jack Daniels tastes the same at this bar and that bar. It's just a matter of what bartend do you like more. You're going to come in on it. Oh, yeah, I think I will, Travis. I was listening to something the other day, and they reminded that the white rhino is extinct, and I actually teared. It made me sad. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, so maybe we'll start green rhinos. But that website needs to be automated. So for instance, Travis will sign up for Rhino Business. This is blah, blah, blah. All of those inputs will go to a website immediately. Fill out that website. Email Travis. This is the link to your website. Check it out. What alterations do you need? Here's the dashboard where you can make those changes. For those changes, though, you email us. Here's the link. Send it over. Bop, bop, bop. And that's going to be a good thing. But as you can tell, that sounds like it's a process. And I know that's a process. I cannot imagine that being done by the 16th. I'm very hopeful because it's all automations. So everything that I shared with you, it's not so much labor intensive. It's an assembly line, right? This leads to this, leads to this, leads to this, leads to this. Okay, fine. The person fills out the form. They press enter. These go there. But how do they go there? How does that site even exist? That site doesn't exist. It didn't exist until the person pressed the button. So how do you make the site? How does it have the website? How does it duplicate from the last one? How does it know which variables to pull, which variables to switch? It's that stuff that becomes difficult. And again, it's difficult in terms of problem solving, not labor, because once you solve it, it's scalable to every single site that ever happens. So in lieu of that automation being done, I will just manually make the sites, which is going to be a lot of fun. Let me tell you that. But because we have 60 that already signed up. So I have to get moving on this information because I do need those inputs from the businesses that did sign up. Again, it's October 3rd. So I'll give myself to October 7th or 8th to get that form done. So that's just where we are with that. So that's the near-term challenge. But I think everything else is fine. It's just, it just feels tedious because we're moving forward and it's we're at the end stages of this big launch and this really exciting product. And that's the best part of everything. But yeah. So once TED goes live, and then everyone actually gets to play with it and participate with it, you got to remember, the demo that we have on the site is just that. It's a demo. So that demo doesn't allow you, I think, any more than 20 replies. That demo doesn't have a vast database that's going to let you talk to Ted today and then 5 days from now talk to Ted again, and where Ted's going to remember what you talked about 5 days ago. That doesn't exist in the demo. But in the live version, that Ted is yours, like totally yours. There is nothing that Ted will ever encounter from the second it enters your text message that will ever be anything other than you. That's the coolest thing. So you can talk to your Ted about something today, and a year from now, he'll still know it. And that code will probably take me a couple of days to do, but I'm so excited. There's so much cool stuff I want to put in that code that's going to make Ted just the most ideal, coolest thing ever. So yeah. So it being October 3rd has me in a complete panic because everything I just shared with you sounds like, Ant, that's going to take more than 13 days. And be that as it may, it might. In fact, here, I'm actually unavailable both Thursday and Friday for Rhino. I'm available in terms of take care of the things that need to take care of to continue, but I will actually cancel the calls for Thursday and Friday. I'll send out an email about that later just to update everyone. But Thursday and Friday, I'm just completely unavailable as my personal life pulls me from my professional life. And in the weirdest way, it all actually comes together because if there'll be a book or a movie about this at a later date, but these last 100 days have been the DNA of what actually created TED. And assuming TED turns out to be successful, which I would never presume the opposite, that it doesn't sound logical to work under the opposite assumption, then one day that story will be told. So they are working in parallel lines, and we're going to continue doing that. So that's where I am. So everything is good. I will see the affiliate team at 12. We will have our first 1 o'clock call at 1 o'clock. Between now and then, I'm going to spend some time completing that presentation, practicing it, plus pulling Ted into it. And please do not judge me for what it looks like today. I promise it will be better tomorrow. So with that, love y'all.